The blundering stupidity of the beauty queen, beauty pageant, whatever she may be from South Carolina is already old news. But I think that you should look a little bit about what she said and realize that the stupidity that she spewed there comes straight out of the socialist textbooks. And even if not straight from those textbooks, it definitely comes from the mainstream media. The mainstream media that propagates the idea that everybody has to make believe and show the world that they're so intellectual and caring about the third world and about the Iraq and the Asia and the South America, and that is the problem because the education in the USA is no good and the people in the USA have no maps and yada yada yada. And then you look at the leftist websites, the blogs, the leftist blogs who always say the truth and never lie, and you can see the worst racism and hatred, specifically the people who are so much against stereotypes, racial discrimination and such. They say that those stupid Southerners, and it's all the fault of Bush because of No Child Left Behind, yada yada yada. Now how come that if this piece of stupidity who repeats the crap that she hears every day on television is the fault, or her stupidity is somehow blamed on the South or on Bush, I don't exactly get it. She repeats basically your mantra, what you believe in, right? That we are the big evil United States. I even saw one who spin the whole thing that the United States education system, which is obviously, we all know, in the hands of Bush, it's never been in the hand of the left. I mean, we know that the evil capitalists, they all go into education because they all believe in chinuch. They all are idealists. They don't go to open businesses and big oil. They're all in education. I mean, one second, it doesn't make too much sense to me. The stupid primitive Southerner conservatives who all go into the oil business and in ExxonMobil, they're also control education, but they're uneducated. So how can they be professors? How can they have an influence on the curriculum of elementary schools and especially higher education? It doesn't add up to me somehow. Well, those who are willing to be honest with themselves obviously understand that it's all leftist propaganda, and the disgusting, spiteful, shameless, disgusting, repulsive leftists, those who supported Clinton and those who compare, for example, Giuliani's adultery and Larry Craig stepping his foot in a bathroom to what Clinton did with Lewinsky, right? We know that neither Larry Craig nor Giuliani smoked an intern-dipped cigar, to the best of my knowledge. To the best of my knowledge, neither Giuliani nor Larry Craig exterminated 78 people at Waco, Texas. To the best of my knowledge, there was not one Democratic protest against what Clinton did in the White House. There was not one Democratic congressman or senator who protested about Clinton walking in a bathroom where an intern was excreting on the toilet, and you know what he did there. But when something happens with Republicans, when a Republican taps his shoe in a bathroom, then all of a sudden the Republicans demand he resign. And it's the same with the voter base. A Democrat president or any congressman or senator can do whatever they want. They can exterminate Serbs, they can betray the country, they can steal classified documents in their underwear, and the Democrats, not only the Democrat politicians, but the Democrat voting base will stick with them. They will stand up for them, they will cover it up, they will deny it, they will make them sound innocent, such as with Jefferson's cold cash, and Feinstein's profiteering on the war. She made over $1 billion in the Iraq war, and so do all of the Congress. Somehow the media ignores that the Congress has half the approval rate of the president. So this is your Dov Bear style blogger, the truth. Dov Bear style. But let's talk a little bit about education, since they already brought up the subject, since they already say that all of this is the fault of the lack of education, which is of course the fault of Bush and the right-wingers. And I'm a Bush fan, by the way. I believe that Bush is a traitor and should be tried and executed for treason, for mishandling Iraq. He could have finished the Iraq war in 3 weeks, and we all know that. I'm not going to go into this. But even in the case that the school system wouldn't just be a tool in the hands of the left for indoctrination. For example, the same schools, if you remember a couple of years ago, I believe 2 years ago, they made a whole rumpus about the Pledge of Allegiance, that it contains the dirty word God and my son. How could I repeat this word, and how could you indoctrinate him? And the same schools in the what's called sensitivity training or diversity training, they made them say the Shahada in Arabic and wear burqas and kafiyas and whatnot. That wasn't a problem. But under God, in the Pledge of Allegiance, that was a great problem. That was a great problem, right? But even if, let's say, in a theoretical level, even if they would educate for classic literature, poetry, to a deep understanding of science and values such as honesty and decency, yada yada yada, even that alone would not be enough. Because the fact that you just teach it on a didactic level is not enough. It has to be ingrained in the how should I put it, the consciousness of a nation, of a country, of a people. It doesn't go so easy. Elementary school and even higher education is not enough. You have to have a whole system. For example, the entertainment, the television should revolve around this in order to ingrain this really into the people's consciousness, to have true intellectualism. Where can you find such a thing? Well, go inside from neighborhoods, and you can see the lawyer, the cab driver, the plumber, the engineer, the professor, all sitting around a table and learning Daf Yomi, for example. And it's not a new phenomenon. That's the way it was in the shtetl. What does that come from? It comes from our respect and our deep consciousness about the value of Torah, of learning Torah, of one's devoting and sacrificing his life for the sake of Torah, for the sake of learning Torah. And the core of it are those who actually do it. Now, I'm not saying that every person in Kollel actually sacrifices himself. There are a lot of fakers. We know that there are a lot of people who should not be there. But the fact of the matter is that there was always a hard core of people. Not only the greatest Talmidei Chachamim. Many of them went down unknown in history. Many of them did not, the memory of many of them did not survive with us. But there's always been a core of people who sat down and learned. So you understand that when you attack those people, when you spit on the Avrechim, and I'm not saying not to criticize them. I am very critical, especially of the Avrechim who have it easy, who are living a good life and who have all the support that they want and live in luxury and learn everything Kollel. I believe that if you sit in Kollel, even if you can afford it because you're rich or your parents or your in-laws are rich, whatever, you should not live at the level of an ordinary person. I do not subscribe to that point of view that, Haredi poverty. There's no poverty nowadays. Nobody goes to sleep hungry. Everybody has at least 2 cars, you know. Someone has 1 car, so he's poor. Has a 10-year-old car, he's poor, you know. What is this stupidity? Who said that you have to have a brand new car and you have to have caviar and salmon and tenderloin every day? It's a new thing. This abundance is only coming from the United States of America. Is unprecedented. Has never existed before, and I have a bad feeling that it won't exist for too long. But let's leave this aside now.